Let's go ahead and move on. Answer a couple of questions before we close out today's show.
Mailbag
Monday. If you have a question of your own for this upcoming week, you can go to the website, thefantasyfootballers.com, click on the Submit a Question button, and send us your question. You can also call us, 302-464-TFFB. Leave us a voicemail question. Going to answer one of those right now.
Hey, Andy, Mike, and Jason. I have a quick question for you. This is Billy from Seattle. I made it into the playoffs this week. We have a 15, 16, 17 week playoff. Basically, my whole flex lineup got kind of screwed over this week with Thomas Rawls and Brian Hartline being out for the season. What would you guys think would be my best replacements for them for me being in a deep 12-man league? Any surprising picks out there for me that I may be able to get in? Because I'm not sure if I'd feel safe picking up John Harris because he didn't look very good out there. All right, guys, thanks for everything, and thanks for helping me get to the playoffs. Bye-bye.
So now this is a question for future weeks, not for today in a pinch. Is that how I understand it?
He wants to know who to replace Rawls with moving forward. Who are some sneaky pickups in a 12-team league that he might be able to go grab at the running back position? I mean, I can think of a couple off the top of my head. The fact Blue got no carries, maybe Polk is a guy you can grab. I mean, this is in a pinch,
Grimes,
right?
I mean, Grimes was the better runner.
Harris is definitely your number one option. That's who I think.
I don't agree.
Well,
For volume?
that's fine. I'm just saying if we know he's on the wire and we don't know who else is on the wire. I mean, I would rather have Tim Hightower than him. So if Hightower's out there, but if it's a deep 12-team league, he's probably not out there this week. So for me, I think Harris is the guy that I'm looking for because he's going to replace that role. He's not that talented by comparison, but you're on a running team.
Well, and tell me this. So would you rather have Dwan Harris at home against Cleveland, or would you rather have
Probably yes to whatever you're going to say.
or would you rather have Tim Hightower against Detroit?
I would take
That's
I would
tough.
take Hightower.
You take Hightower?
Because part of the equation here is you need to pay attention. We can't just tell you the name because if DeJuan Harris, if they sign a guy this week,
right.
if Lynch is going to be back,
Speaking of signing
if
a
Fred
guy,
Jackson,
there's a running back who I'm sure that he's familiar with the system. That's clearly that's just a joke.
Mike is on the
didn't even
Kristen
say the
Michael
name.
watch.
Well, I didn't get to
Finish the
You didn't let
joke.
me finish it.
you could have,
It's called timing, my man. It's comedic gold.
and you could have followed it up. Christine Michael was the name you were going to say.
Yes, Kristen Michael is on the practice squad in Washington. No, it's not going to happen. Maybe Marshawn Lynch is on your waiver wire. Grab him, and then we talk Denard Robinson.
Yes.
If T.J. Yeldon is going to miss, and it's very possible he's going to miss at least this week. That's Atlanta.
Alfred Morris,
It's-
Matt Jones.
I would pick up Jones over Morris, but if it's deep, they're probably both owned.
All right. Yeah, I mean the options we will
Brandon Bolden?
maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah, maybe.
with
If
LeGarrette Blount.
I mean, we'll have to
James
wait
White.
for the news to come out there. James White for sure. If James White is out there, grab him because he is utilized. If he's not, Brandon Bolden should be out there and could be serviceable if Blunt is gone.
Best catch of James White's night was called back.
Yeah, that was a great
Incredible
catch.
catch. He is very small, and he went up very high to get that ball. All right, so we will be able to give you more names tomorrow on the show in terms of the information we have. If DeJuan Harris looks like he's going to be the starter next week, it changes the equation. I was just
Maybe.
unsure of the...
Maybe Crowell.
Yeah, I thought about
Crowell
that too.
he's owned in 36% of leagues.
Yeah, so Crowell will be on our waiver wire list for sure. One more question from Steven in Philadelphia. Jarvis Landry or Lamar Miller in the flex tonight? PPR, full PPR.
Ooh.
I'm going Lamar Miller. I can definitely see a world where Jarvis Landry outscores Miller, but I think Miller's baseline
In a world.
I think Lamar Miller's baseline is higher with the new offensive coordinator change. They're going to get him the ball. We saw Jarvis Landry have a down week, and I think the ceiling of Lamar Miller is absolutely just as high as Jarvis Landry. So I'm going Miller.
I'm going
All right.
Miller.
I'm going to ask one more question. This is from Andy in Phoenix. Who would you want to have and start moving forward for Philadelphia?
Oh, man.
Most carries went to Ryan Matthews. Most production went to Sproles. Most annoying went to DeMarco Murray.
It's the three-headed monster, which here's the situation for Philadelphia. if they are done with DeMarco Murray, then this was the week they would have sat him down and said, okay, we're going to move on from you. If you're trying to salvage a future with DeMarco Murray, then you got to play him like you did. So he's going to be involved.
Couldn't it be a mix of both because they're in the playoff hunt, though?
Yeah, it definitely could be. I think if you're in a redraft league and you need one of those guys, I would want Ryan Matthews or DeMarco Murray. But if you are in a keeper league, I do like the idea. I would rather have even for this season because it's so close to me. It's so close whether I would want Ryan Matthews more just for playing this season or whether I'd want DeMarco Murray. So if I'm in a keeper league, I think I'd rather have DeMarco Murray in case.
I mean Matthews.
Or Matthews.
Yeah, you're confusing me here because you also said that you'd rather have DeMarco Murray for the rest of the year. You just said in a redraft league you'd rather have. So
yes.
you'd take rest of the season, then you're saying DeMarco Murray.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Water bet.
No.
Wait, what? Murray versus what?
Matthews.
I don't want to water bet. I don't want to even put any odds because it could be Sproles.
Yeah, I'm just wondering why you think it's Murray after he was the least productive, least used.
Kind of what Mike is saying. We saw the benching get taking place last week for Eddie Lacy, and this seemed to be a week where it was like, you went above me, you went to management, you are getting benched to the fourth string, even though he came in kind of second.
But he was already benched last week with Sproles being featured.
Yeah, I believe this next week, DeMarco Murray gets the most carries.
How much do you believe that?
Not enough to water bet. I'm just making.
So you're giving advice to our listeners, but you're not going to put it on the line in a water bet. Is what you're saying?
That is
just say that out loud.
No,
say,
that is
I'm not going to risk.
what I'm saying. If you're listening to me, Foot Clan, I am telling you, you cannot bank on this advice.
I did my best, Mike.
You can't bank on any advice of anybody saying DeMarco Murray is definitely the guy, or Ryan Matthews is definitely the guy, or Darren Sproles is definitely the guy. Nobody.
I'm going to make sure I get that cut. You cannot bank on my advice. That's what I want. That's what I want to remember.
Well,
here's
No, here's if you're so strong about it, you should water bet yourself.
Well, that's ridiculous.
Oh, is it? You're so confident.
Water bet.
We'll see you tomorrow, everybody.
Goodbye.
Thank you for listening to another edition of the Fantasy Footballers Podcast. Don't forget to visit us on the web at www.thefantasyfootballers.com and follow us on Twitter @TheFFBallers.